Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to cover up some tools, some websites which you can use during the process of DNS enumeration. So these websites are very useful to gather different publicly available subdomain and their uses, their IP addresses and their domain information. So this is very important. Let's start with the website called crt.sh. So in this website, if I go to crt.sh, here you can see enter an identity, domain name, comma, organization name, extra, a certificate fingerprint or an crt.sh ID. So you can enter different things here and you can get information. So if I go here and if I select google.com and I search about google.com, then this website can give me a lot of information. There you can see all the domain names for the google.com. It is very quick, easy to use, and it gives us a lot of information. Like there is all the certificate crt.sh ID logged at, not before, not after. So these are the dates of the certificate expiry dates, I think, or certificate creation dates. So google.com, mail.google.com, accounts.google.com, adwords.google.com. Then there are number of options in the adword section of this only. Then there is a lot of information about sandbox.google.com. So you can find a lot of information with this website. And if you click this crt.sh ID, suppose I want to open accounts.google.com. So I will click on this ID and I can see, now I can see a lot of information. Like I can see public key info of google.com, accounts.google.com. I can see common name, I can see the organization name, Google Inc. I can see where it is located, Mount View, California, US. So now you can get pretty much detailed information. You can see SHA-256 bit key, and there are a lot of information. You can see the signature algorithm which it is using. So this is pretty useful, and you can also click on graph and it will, I think it will give us some information regarding to this. So it says loading. Here you can see, so it is giving us a root name server or root domain name server, which is Microsoft. Then we have Equifax Secure Certification Authority. Then we have Google Internet Authority. Then we have this certificate of accounts.google.com. You can see the certificate graph number. So crt.sh can give you a lot of information. And we will move on to our next website. I will close this and I will go to this virustotal.com/GUI. So this is a GUI version for VirusTotal. In this website, you can either find some malware or suspicious file. You can scan them, or here is an option for URL. So you can scan a URL. So if I type google.com here and I will press enter, here you can see we can get a lot of information for google.com. It is scanning google.com by different kind of like this Baidu International, this Cider, Clean MX. So it is using different types of links to clean our google.com. Here you can see community score is very good for the google.com. And if we click in detail, here you can see the IP address, status codes. Again, you can see SHA-256 headers. You can see HTML. You can see, so all the information you can see here. You can see the cookies, meta tags. So this virustotal.com can also give you a lot of information about your domain or about your subdomain. So you can also search for a subdomain. If we go here, you can search for the subdomain also. and I think it comes with a paid version also. It is a free version. You can set up an account from here, and this will give you a lot of like recon information. So this is also very important website which you can use. Then we will move on to the next one, which is census, CENSYS.io. So here you can see your attack surface is evolving and growing, the demo. Then the most complete view of internet, you can see active IP addresses, ports and protocol scanned, active services. These are number of certificates, these are number of domain names in whole internet. So if you want to search for a website, search for a certificate, search for an IP address, you can do these things here. So suppose I want to search a website, I will go to search websites and search census.io/domain. So if I search for google.com, like I think it should be number 1, so it is showing me google.com at number 1. If I click this google.com, here you can see we have a lot of information again with this website. Lot of publicly available information about Google. All the ports, like 25 SMTP ports, all this mail, mx.google.com, the mail exchange server, the IP address of that, and certificate chain is also there, TLS handshake is also there. So it will also give you a lot of information regarding any domain name. So if you want to do enumeration and gain lot of publicly available information, you can go to these 3 websites. First crt.sh, then virus total, and then census.io. So these 3 websites, if I click on the details here you can see we have like ton of details here also. So all these details you can use them in your exploitation or in your scanning phase of ethical hacking. So this is very important information, and you can it is very easy to document, it is very easy to use. So anytime, anywhere, you can look up to these things to find more and more information. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see the differences between a domain and a subdomain. What is a domain? What is a subdomain? And what is a URL which we type in our web browser? So we will see it with an example. So this here you can see is called as URL, which we type in our web browser. So suppose there is https www.microsoft.com/about. So this is Microsoft.com websites. In this, the first part is our protocol. HTTPS is the protocol which we are using. Then we have this www, which is used to recognize World Wide Web. Then we have Microsoft.com. So the Microsoft is the domain name in this URL, and the .com, this com is an extension of this domain name. This about is a web page inside the Microsoft web server. So this makes up a whole URL which we type in our web browser or in our whenever we want to access Microsoft website, we type the URL. Now we will move on to subdomain. Domain is clear to you. Domain is like this, Microsoft.com. The Microsoft is a domain name. In Google.com, the Google is the domain name. And Cisco.com, the Cisco is the domain name. Now if we move on to subdomain, so if you want to go more specific in that web server or the website of Microsoft, suppose you want to go to career section of Microsoft website. So what will you type? You will type career.microsoft.com. So Microsoft is the domain name, .com is the extension, and this career is our subdomain in this case. So career.microsoft.com. This makes a subdomain and domain work simultaneously. So we can understand this by hierarchy of our DNS system. So at the top, at the root level, we have our DNS system with .root servers. So there are 13 .root servers in all over the world. So there are 13 root servers. Then there are many top level domains which are derived by those root servers. So suppose there is .com, .org, .net, .uk, .gov. All these domains are top level domains. And if we move on to further, we will go to the second level domain, which is suppose like Microsoft.com. So there is root level domain .root, then there is top level domain .com, then there is second level domain which is Microsoft.com. Then there is career.microsoft.com, which is like a low level domain, or we known as a subdomain. So you can understand that hierarchy. .root is there, .com is there, which is derived by root. Then there is google.com, then there is career. Or whatever you can say, ns1 for name server .google.com. So this adds up as the level go down. So this is the hierarchy of our domain name systems all throughout the world. If you see any websites or any web servers, any web applications which use DNS, there are number of subdomains or low level domains available in that website itself. So in DNS Recon, we used to find these low level domains. Sometimes it can lead us to different parts of web servers which are publicly accessible and the company don't know about it. So in DNS reconnaissance, we are going to find these low level domains like career.microsoft.com or ns1, the name servers for microsoft.com, or we will find many different things like srv records of microsoft.com, or there are a whole new different things in our DNS records. There are different types of records, there are different types of subdomains for these records. So what reconnaissance means is gathering publicly available data. So there are number of resources which organizations which you can find on organizations social media pages or the domain name servers, and you can do reconnaissance, apply different techniques, and you can learn about your target. Reconnaissance is the most important part of your ethical hacking or a penetration testing process. So in reconnaissance, we can find different types of information and very detailed information, and sometimes this step can take months and years to find some cryptic or hidden information which is available on the public, or it is not available on the public domain. So there are three basic values, or you can say basic methods of DNS reconnaissance. First, you will learn about your target. So suppose you are going to target a website called cisco.com. So you will learn about those targets. You will see their web pages, their web applications, their email addresses which are publicly available on their websites, and you are going to try DNS reconnaissance which can lead us to different types of DNS servers and records, including mail exchanger record, including the PTR record, including the canonical names and aliases. So learning about your target is very important step in reconnaissance. Then the gathering information phase. So all the information you can gather, you will try to gather that information, you will document that information, and you are going to find some loopholes which are available on these servers. Then third phase is map the network. So in the context of DNS reconnaissance, I'm going to say that suppose I'm going to try cisco.com, so I will try to map their all DNS records, like there is DNS server and there is different types of records available. So in this diagram you can see there is client, there is a DNS server. The client will simply send the request to that DNS server. Suppose this is Cisco, or suppose this is a Google DNS server, Google, and this is a public DNS and it has an IP address of 8.8.8.8. So this client will send lot of different kind of requests to that DNS server, and it will try to gain as much information in the form of response. So in DNS server there is A record, there is quad A record, there is MX record, there is PTR record, there is SRV record, there is NS record. The client will try to gather, or the attacker or we will try to gather all this information back, and we will try to analyze, we will try to document that information using tools like Microsoft Office, WPS Office, the G Suite, the MS 365. All these different documentation tools are available there to gather this information, and we can try different kind of bash scripts and to filter out the rough or vague information from this responses, and we will try to gather the quality information, and we will try to map the network to the DNS server. So this is the reconnaissance process, and DNS and reconnaissance both together makes DNS reconnaissance process. So reconnaissance is very important, and before attacking you need to know all the information about your target. So this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, in this video we are going to see another tool for DNS enumeration, and this tool is called Subbrute, SUBBRUTE. So I will go to this GitHub repository, and here you can see, if I go to download the code, and you can see here is an option called download zip. So I will copy this link, and I will go again in my Kali Linux box. So I'm in my Kali Linux box. I will just type wget, I will paste that selection, and I will press enter. So it will download that zip file into your Kali Linux box. So I think it has downloaded that zip file. I will type ls. Here you can see master.zip has been downloaded. Now I will unzip this file. So unzip master.zip. So this will unzip the file. I will again list the file. Here you can see subroot master has been unzipped. I will clear up my screen. I will go to that directory called subroot master, and I will press ls, and here you can see we have subroot.py here, and this is the main file which you will be using in your DNS enumeration process. So I will just go down in this GitHub repository, and we will see some commands over here. So first of all, there are commands. It says some explanation about Subroot. Subroot is a community-driven project with the goal of creating fastest, most accurate subdomain enumeration tool. Some of the magic behind that, it uses Open Resolver as a kind of proxy to circumvent DNS rate limiting. So this is more kind of advanced tool. It is a community developed tool, and it uses different things. So here you can see an example of that. /subroot.py google.com. So before going to that, I will just type subroot.py and I will just press help -h. So here you can see different kind of options now. So you can select your targets by T. If you are having targets in a file, so you can select your targets by -t. You can resolve by -r. If you have a single like domain, so you can resolve that by -r. Then you have -v for verbose, and there are several options for output. You can output your data into a JSON format or a graphable format. So you can also select the type of record that you want. So now I will again go to my GitHub and I will just copy this. So not this. Yes, okay. I will just copy this and I will copy and I will just paste this command. Okay, I think paste clipboard. Okay, now it is copied. I will just delete this output. So I will just try to run this subroot.py, and you have to give it some some time to run, and you have to wait for some time so that it can collect the information from different open source sources. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. Or if it takes longer, so you can just short it by typing a subdomain to it like mail.google.com, and you can type -r to resolve this domain name only. So it will only resolve this domain name. So I will press this. Okay, so I will okay, -p is for your target domain. So -p or -p is there for your target domain. So I will type -p. Okay, now it is happening. The process is happening and it will take some time. While this is running, we can also, I'm also trying to show you another tool which is called knock, K-N-O-C-K. So I will just open up a new tab. So it is actually called knockpy. So to download that tool, you have to go to the GitHub of knockpy here, GUELFO web/knock. So in Kali Linux it comes pre-installed. So you just have to type sudo apt get install knockpy and you have to press enter. You have to provide all the information, and here you can see knockpy is already the newest version. Otherwise, if knockpy is not installed, the Kali Linux will automatically install knockpy. Now if open up the GitHub page of knockpy, so knockpy is a Python tool designed to enumerate subdomains on a target domain through a word list. It is designed to scan for DNS zone transfer. So now I will here you can see some examples. You can just type knockpydomain.com or you can type knockpydomain.com and specify the word list. So, and also you can resolve just a single IP or a single domain name. So I'm going to do this because it will take less time to demonstrate this method. So I will going to use this flag which is -r. So I will just knockpy and I will -r and I will type the domain name mail.google.com and I will press enter. Here you can see knockpy is started and it has given me some results also. So it is so fast. If you are trying to enumerate only one domain name, it will work very fast. So knockpy checking for virus total subdomains, then checking for wildcard, checking for zone transfer, and resolving your targets. So it is providing us IP address. Response time is very less, as you can see. Then we have this is my router's home page, and then you have a proxy connection is closed, and test target is hoxgrw .mail.google.com. so it is finding subdomains also. So this tool NockPy is also very fast and very important and very easy to use, and it comes pre-installed with your Kali Linux. So this can be also a great tool to collect some DNS reconnaissance information and to collect some subdomain information. So you can try NockPy too. Now I will go back to my subroot. So yes, subroot has started collecting some addresses, and it is collecting very accurate addresses. Here you can see quad A address is this is IPv6 address for your google.com DNS. Then you have A address, which is this one is an IP address for Google mail, I think mail.google.com. yes, then it is showing us canonical names, and so it will take some time and it will give you all the information which you want from this, and you can output that into a JSON file, and you can also see the process count. You can also enable the verbose flag. So there are a number of options, and you can always look up to the GitHub repository of these tools, and you can see that how these tools can work in different ways. So there are different commands, like in this command it is specifying -s. -s is a flag which is not mentioned here, surprisingly. Okay, it is mentioned. You can select a list of subdomains, so -s or -s is for that. So there are a number of examples, and you can always select the record type which you want to see, like txt type of record or cname type of record. So it is very helpful to collect information. So in this video we saw two tools. First one is NockPy, which is very easy to use, comes pre-installed, and there are less options, but you can specify different options. Here you can see the examples of NockPy and the uses of NockPy. It can also export full report in a JSON file, so that is the case. And our subroot also can return the information in JSON format. So this is for DNS enumeration for this one. Okay, bye, and I will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, in this video we are going to see some basic tools for our reconnaissance process of DNS. So before going to tools like Amass or tools like Sublister, we need to understand basics of DNS reconnaissance. So I will just open up my terminal, and now first tool on the list name is host. So host is a tool to identify different types of DNS server under a domain name. So if I press manual for my host command and I will press enter, here you can see it is a DNS lookup utility, and host is a simply utilized for performing DNS lookups. So it is normally used to convert names to IP address and vice versa. When no arguments are given, host print a short summary of its command line, and there are a number of options which you can see. -d is for debugging traces, -l for list zones, and -p or -p is for specific port number on a server, and there are so much more in this host command. -t is for type, and we can specify different types of records on the DNS server like quad A or MX records. So this is it for this tool, and if I try to host google.com, simply I will type host space Google, google.com, and I will press enter. And here you can see it returned something. It returned IP address for google.com. It returned IPv6 address for google.com, and it returned some mail server records of google.com like this 30, 20, 10, 40, 50. And here it is saying that google.com mail is handled by 30 alt2.aspmx.l.google.com. So we have now the domain name for MX server of google.com. Now if we try to specify some things in this command, so I will type host and I will type space t. Suppose you want to see only mail servers of a website. So I will type host space -t. Then I will specify the record, which is, suppose I have to see the MX record of DNS server. I will type MX. Then I will say cisco.com and I will press enter. Then you can see cisco.com mail is handled by, so all the mail server, mail exchange servers are returned with this query. So host command is very important for your DNS lookups, and it is very easy to use and it gives very clear sense of information. Now I will move on to next tool which is on the list. Is called NSLookup. It is also a utility. If I try to open manual page for NSLookup, so I will press man space NSLookup. I will press enter. Here you can see it has an interactive mode. When no argument are given, the default name server will be used, and there are some other options also. If I press space, here you can see ls, view, class, and set keyword and value. So these are different kind of options. So I will try to do some kind of search with this utility. I will type NSLookup, then I will type space, then I will just press space. Here you can see it is prompting me an interactive shell. Then suppose I have to see name server record for google.com. So what I will type, I will set my type equal to ns, which is for name server, and I will simply press google.com and I will type enter. Here you can see it returned some detailed things. Google.com name server is ns1.google.com, then ns3.google.com, ns4.google.com, and ns2.google.com. These 4 name servers are returned with this utility. Now here you can see the internet address, the quad A address, IPv4 and IPv6 addresses for the same google.com name server. So I will just go out of this utility and I will just clear up my screen, and I will type next command which is on the list, which is dig, dig. So dig google.com, if I type google.com and I will simply press enter, here you can see it is returning me some information like we saw in our host command. It returned us an IP address of this, and it also returned the query, the DNS query information, and it returned flag, UDP, and there are different types of information which the dig had returned. So why should you use different kind of tools to do same thing? So sometimes a tool cannot verify a service or a name server properly. So you have to type different tools and try to confirm that our information is correct. Suppose you got IP address from dig command. So this is the IP address for google.com. Now if I type same host command, host google.com, here you can see I am seeing another IP address. So I have to verify that both of these IP addresses are the same IP address. That's why I can say that this is correct answer for the question. Now I will clear up my screen another time, and one very important tool which we are going to cover is DNS Recon. So DNS recon is a very large tool. It will return much information, like host returned a little bit information, NS lookup returned some more information, and DNS recon will go further and it will return a whole lot of information. So for doing that, first of all, we have to go manual page on the DNS recon. So -n is for NS server, -r is for range of IP addresses. So you can give different range of IP addresses for that. Then you can type select -D, which is a dictionary file of subdomain and hostname to use for brute force. So it can also be used in your brute force attacks. Then if I go further down, then there is another options like -a, -s, which are performing different types of actions, and this tool is very useful and very big tool. So I will just go quit this manual file and I will just type DNS recon and -d is for domain name, and suppose domain name is google.com, and I will press enter. It will take some time. Here you can see performing general enumeration of domain google.com. So it is performing a general enumeration. Here you can see a whole lot of information with this command. There are service type records, SRVs. So there are different types of services and different types of IP addresses you can see running on a google.com domain name. Then if I go further, there you can see it is also performing the TXT record and the quad A record, A record, MX record, NS record. So it is basically giving us a whole lot of information about different DNS records. So this is it for DNS recon. You can use it in the way you want with the command in manual page. So you can always go to the manual page and look at the commands and run DNS recon whichever way you want to run it. Now I will just clear my screen. One more tool left for this video, which is DNS enum or enum. So if this tool is not installed in your Kali Linux or Parrot OS, so if you are using both of these operating systems and this tool is not installed, you just have to type sudo apt get install and DNS enum. So you have to install DNS enum like this in your Kali Linux or in your Parrot OS. So this is very easy to install. You will press enter and it will install. So I will just open up the manual page for DNS enum or enum. Here you can see this tool is also very important and it is also giving us a whole lot of information which previous tools did not give us. So here you can see you can run different threads from 5 to 20. You can specify DNS server with this option, and you can Google scraping options are available, brute force options are available, then there is reverse lookup options are available, there is whois IP options are available. So there are whole lot of options available with this tool which you didn't get with previous tools. So I will just quit this manual page and I will just type DNS enum. I will show you that how it shows all the results. So I will type DNS enum space google.com. I will again try to enumerate Google server. Here you can see with the last couple of tools, we are not seeing a very neat and clean information. But in this tool, here you can see we are seeing a lot clear information. We have different tables for different types of name server, for mail exchange server. So it is very easy to understand and easy to document. If you are using this tool, it is very easy to document different types of
DNS records. And using this tool is very easy. I am running version 1.2.6. You can also install it by simply clicking sudo apt get install DNS enum, and it is trying zone transfer because I did not give any like a script for that thing, so it is saying corrupt packet. Here you can see the canonical names also available for google.com DNS, and there are a whole lot of information. You can see the IP addresses are very clear in the format, the IP addresses of name server, and it is still running. It will take some time because it is a very wide tool. So here you can see it is brute forcing with this document, and it is finding a whole lot of subdomains in our domain name like admin.google.com, which you will not see if you are using like google.com. You will not never see these types of critical information or critical pages like admin.google.com, america.google.com, apps.google.com. So there are a lot of, it is still running and it will run for a couple of time. And so this is it in this video. These are all the 5 tools. We did host, we did NSLOOKUP, we did dig, we did DNS recon, and we are doing DNS enum. So these are 5 basic tools, and now we can move on to more advanced tools like Amass or Sublister. So we will try to achieve more, gain more and more reconnaissance and publicly available knowledge from those tools. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, and in today's video we are going to install the tool Amass, which is used for DNS enumeration. So if we go to the website of official website of OWASP and we go to owasp/www-project-amass, so we get a little bit information about Amass, what Amass is and what it does. So here you can see it is in-depth DNS enumeration, attack surface mapping, and external access discovery. So what basically this tool does, that it makes our DNS enumeration and reconnaissance very easy. Although this tool is not easy to use, but we are going to get familiar with it in this course. So whenever you want to install a tool, just go to its GitHub repository. So in Bing, in Google, or in DuckDuckGo, whichever web browser you use, you can just type Amass space GitHub. Then it will take you to the GitHub repository of Amass, which is this one, github.com/owasp/amass. If you click on this repository, then you can see there is the code for Amass tool, and if we go down and if we go to readme.md, here you can see there is a detailed information about the tool. The OWASP performs network mapping of attack surfaces and external access discovery using open source information gathering and active reconnaissance techniques. So there are 4 or 5 types of techniques available in information gathering via Amass. First one is DNS, which is the most important for us. We are going to see about DNS enumeration in this course, so this is very important for us. It can also do scraping, certificates, APIs, and web archive. So here you can see a detailed information that what are the resources where it is going to take information from. So sources like Cloudflare, GitHub, and Who is XML, and there are number of sources, Hacker Target, so Network DB. So there are number of sources from where it is going to take information. Now Bing, Baidu, Google, or Yahoo, all these websites it is going to take the information from. Now if we go to the installation process of Amass, uh, there are several ways to install it. So if you have Kali Linux pre-installed or Parrot OS pre-installed, so like this, if you have already Kali Linux built in your system, or if you are running Kali Linux or Parrot OS in a VM, so it will be very easy to install and use this tool. So there is several other options like Docker container. You can install Amass in a Docker container. You can pull the Docker image by typing this command, then you can run Amass by using this command. Now from sources, you can download and use it from sources. There is a documentation. You can go to this installation guide to get started. So I'm going to just go to the installation guide. Here you can see packaging status. It has using Docker from source. So there are multiple options for these things: Homebrew, Snapcraft, and Arch Linux, Black Arch Linux, Dragonfly BSD, FreeBSD, and Kali Linux. So I am going to, in this video, I am going to simply install it via a Kali Linux box, and there are two commands. First one is apt-get update, which will update your system's repository. Then it will install Amass, because Amass comes pre-installed in Kali. You just need to update your repository and get it from the source. Now if we go further down below, here you can see it is for Parrot Linux, and there are several other options. Now for Kali Linux, you just need to go to the Kali Linux box. I will just open up the terminal, zoom the terminal, then apt get update. Okay, apt get update. Here you can see permission denied. I will just type sudo. I will just type my password. It is working, as you can see. So it will take some time. It will your repository will update through the internet, and it will take some time. So here you go. It is updated. Here you can see it is updated. Now I will clear the screen. Now I will just type the second command, which was apt get install Amass. So I will go to Kali box, apt get install Amass. So I will just press enter. Okay, it is again requiring a sudo permission from me. Now here you can see it will download 36 MB of additional disk space will be used. We will continue with a yes, and it will take some time. It will download it from the internet, and we will wait. So now it is installed, and if I go to Amass and press help, here you can see the commands comes up, and here you go, it is installed. Here you can see the Amass logo. If I just zoom it out, so you will press Amass space -h, which is for help, and here you can see the Amass is installed. Till then, goodbye and take care. Hi everyone, in this video we are going to talk about another DNS enumeration tool, which is known as Sublister. So first of all, we need to go to the GitHub page of Sublister, which is github.com/aboul3la/sublist3r. So Sublister is known as Sublist3r. So if we go to this page, here is the command or the code for the tool, and down here it is written in Python. As you can see, it is a Python tool designed to enumerate subdomains of websites using OSINT. So it is also using like open source information, which is already available on the internet. So this is there are some screenshots over here, and if we go down, we can see that installation part. So you can either install it as a git clone, git space clone, and then you have to put this website name, or you can download it as a Python tool. But the easiest way to download it, to use your Ubuntu, Debian, or your Kali Linux. So in Kali Linux and in Parrot OS, this Sublister is already pre-installed. So you need not to worry about the installation of this tool. Here you can see we have some examples over here, and we have some flags over here, which is -d is for domain, -b is for brute force, -p is for port name, -v is for verbose, -t is for thread, E for engine, O for output to save the result to another text file, and there is -h is for help. So it is similar to the tool that we have already tried, like DNS Recon, Amass. So it is a similar tool to do DNS enumerations. So there are some examples, and I'm just going to jump right into my Kali Linux box, which is this one, and I'm on the terminal. So if this Sublister is not installed in your Kali Linux, you just have to press sudo apt get install sublist 3r. So this is known as Sublister, and if I press enter, here you can see Sublister is already in the newest version, so I have already downloaded it. If you are running Kali Linux on a virtual machine, the Sublister will automatically comes pre-installed with the operating system, so you need not to worry about that. So I will just clear up my screen, and I will type sublist 3r, and I will just press enter. So here you can see this is the Sublister. This is coded by Ahmed Abaul Ella. So and this is in Python, as you can see. Here are the libraries: user/lib/python3/dist package/sublister3r.py. So it is a Python module or Python package. So if I have to see the menu options, help options, I will press -h, and if I have to specify a domain, I will press -d for that. And if I have to do verbose mode, then I have to press -v. So I will just try a simple enumeration of our google.com. So for that we have to type sublister dash or -d, which is for domain, and now we have to specify the domain name, which is like google.com or something else. So this time I'm going to try owasp.org. So I'm going to try this domain name. It is owasp. Okay. Here you can see it is searching now in Baidu, Yahoo, Google, Bing, Ask, Netcraft, VirusTotal, and there are a number of different types of sources which this tool is tracing. It is going to the internet and it is searching for subdomains for this website owasp.org, and it is enumerating those subdomains from different websites like Google, Yahoo, Bing, all these search engines, and it is collecting as much information it can collect to give us detailed information for that. So you have to wait for some time to finish the scanning of these subdomains, and then we will move on to that what we have discovered already. So wait for some time and it will do its job. Now you can see the results are coming. Total unique subdomains found are 34. So it is not like your Amass or it is not like your DNS Recon. It is finding unique domain subdomains. So it is more reliable tool, more advanced level of a tool. So Sublister is very important. Here you can see we have now different OWASP subdomains like dsandbox.owasp.org or ocms.owasp.org, mail.owasp.org, wiki.owasp.org. So there are different types of subdomains which we can found with this tool called Sublister. If I will I clear up my screen, and I will again try to go to help menu, and there is an option that you can also specify your output to a text file. You can save your output to a text file. So I'm just trying to do that. So I will just go to my desktop uh, and I will type the same command which I have tried earlier for owasp.org, and I will specify my output into abc.txt one file. So I will press enter. Now it will again do all those searches, and you have to wait for some time, and we will be back with the results. So now we have all the results are here on the screen, and if I type ls, here you can see our abc.txt file is created. And if I go to my desktop and I will just try to open it from here, here you can see all the results are saved into the text file, so that we can perform number of results after our search is complete. So this is a very handy option, and you should try this option to save your detail which you have gathered from this tool called Sublister. So DNS enumeration, one more thing about DNS enumeration, that it is you have to keep your patience. So sometime if you are like enumerating subdomains for a large website like google.com or some very popular websites, so you have to wait for some time. It can take about 15 to 20 minutes also sometime. So because there could be a very large number of subdomains which can be available, so you have to keep your patience and save your output to a file. Then you can try different operations on that output, and you can find different things about that domain name. So this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to explain what a DNS server is. So DNS is known as domain name server or domain name system. So whenever you type any website's name in your browser like Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, DuckDuckGo, or any browser, so whenever you type a website's name, suppose you are typing google.com, so this google.com is a domain name. It is known as a domain name. Then your PC will open up port number 53, which is DNS port, and it is going to contact the DNS server to resolve this domain name to an IP address, so that it can understand where to send the packet. Now whenever this request goes to the DNS server will have a table like this. So in the table you can see that google.com is known as 209.85.220.41. so this is the IP address of google.com, and it is registered on DNS server. Now the DNS server will send the request back to the browser that google.com's IP address is this one, and it will send the IP address back to the computer. Now after that, the computer will forward all the packets to that IP address 209.85.220.41. Now DNS server works like a phone book of the internet. So in the phone book we used to have name of a person and phone number of a person. So suppose name of a person is ABC and phone number of that person is 73123 23612. So suppose this is the phone number for that person. Now if there is one or two persons, we can easily remember the phone numbers. But if there are more than thousands of people, now we can't remember phone number of thousands of people. So we invented phone books. Same goes with the internet. There are more than 1 billion websites on the internet, and we cannot remember the IP address of each and every website. That's why we use DNS server to convert our domain names to the IP address, because we can remember the domain name, but we cannot remember the IP address of 1 billion websites. So this is the case with your DNS server, and that's how it works. Now we will move on to different types of records which DNS server has. So DNS does not only consist the IP address and the domain name of a website or a server. It also contains several other records over the period of time. So there is A record, there is quad A record, there is MX record, there is PTR record, there is CNAME record, and there is NS record. Before going to DNS reconnaissance, we need to understand these records because this will help us in the future. Now for the A record, this converts our domain name to a IPv4 address. Quad A record converts our domain name to an IPv6 address. So A and quad A is pretty simple. We already covered that in the phone book part of this video. Now then we have another record called MX, which is mail exchanger. So what MX record does, it is used to identify the email gateways or email servers of the website. Suppose Google have an email server of mail.google.com, which is address for your Gmail addresses. So Gmail's website domain name is mail.google.com. So that address will convert to IP address with the help of a mail exchanger record. So it will convert that. Now we have another record called PTR. So what PTR record does, it looks for reverse lookups. So if you type any IP address on the browser, it will convert that IP address to a domain name. So the PTR record does opposite of A and quad A records. A and quad A records used to do name to IP address. PTR record is IP address to name. Now we have another record called CNAME, which is canonical name. Canonical mean alias or alternative name or duplicate name, whatever you can say. So suppose there is google.com and we have another name called google123.google.com. So suppose this 123 will be an alias to the google.com. So as soon as you type 123, that will point out to actual google.com. So aliases or canonical names are alternatives of the actual domain names, and the CNAME record used to find all those extra record or extra domain names which are aliases to the main domain names. Then we have another record called NS, which is a name server record. It identifies zero authority or zone authority, you can say, and name of the server where the domain name record is registered. So in the domain name system, if I clear this out, so in the domain name system, there are throughout the world there are several zones. So zone A, zone B, zone C, zone D. So each of the zones have their own authority servers. NS server, name server record, used to find all those authority servers. So it looks like something like this: ns1.google.com, ns2.google.com, ns3.google.com. So all these domain names are used to convert by the name server record. Then there is another very important one, which is a service location record, which is called SRV. So this is the record. It gives us information of services available in a particular zone or particular domain. So it has two types of entries. It has name and it has some data. So name is like name of the protocol, name of the zone, name of the domain, name of the source, and data flag contains things like priority, weight, port number. So SRV records is one of the most important record which we used to find in our DNS enumerations. So whenever we use a tool like Amass or DNS Recon, those tools will map all these different records on the internet or on the domain name server, and we can get a lot of information from these domains name servers and these different kinds of records. So this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, in this video we are going to see another tool for DNS enumeration, which is known as Acquatone. So first of all, you have to just go to the GitHub of Acquatone, which is this link over here. After getting to this GitHub account, you just need to go down, and here you will see the installation. For installation, you have to type this command in your terminal: gem install Acquatone, and it will install Acquatone in your Linux box. Then you have many options. So we will start from the first option, which is discovery. In this, the subdomains are discovered, and it can take a very long time to do. So we are just going to use this thread command, because if you are using thread, by default Acquatone discover will use 5 threads as a default, but you can increase that to 25 to make your process much faster. So I'm going to just use this example. I'm just going to copy it, from here, and I will go to my Kali Linux box. I'm in my terminal, and I will just paste the clipboard, which is this, and I'm going to do enumeration for google.com. The thread R25, Acquatone discover command we are using, domain is google.com. Now as soon as I press enter, okay, I will give it my sudo permissions. I will type my password, and as soon as I press enter, here you can see Acquatone is started, and it is using these name servers, these 4 name servers for google.com, checking for wildcard DNS, and it is now collecting information from different sources like hacker target or public www. So we will wait for some time till like some results come up. Okay, so now we have a little bit of information here. The Acquatone is collecting different results from different websites like PTR archive, DNSDB. It skipped Snowden. I don't know why, because key is not set for Snowden. It is using Wayback Machines. It is using VirusTotal, Census, Dictionary. And here you can see the results are started to come up, and if I press enter, I can see that it is 0.2% done, and 20 out of 9088 hosts. So it will take like I think it will take half an hour, or it can take up to 45 minutes depending on what Kali Linux version you are using. If you are using a Raspberry Pi, it will take a long time, which I am using. If you are using a VM, it will take less time. So keep checking, like this is 1.2% done now. And after completing this result, after completing the whole search, I will meet you after the completion of this result. Then we will try to scan the results. So now we are back with the results after like 40 to 45 minutes. I was able to get all this result. So here is a very long list of different kind of these domain names and their IP addresses. These are all subdomains like wallet.google.com, web.google.com. So all these are the subdomains which our tool Acquatone collected from the internet. Now here you can see there are files which are created on this Acquatone folders, and there is txt file and there is json file. So we can see those files in Acquatone folder, in our root folder. So I will just clear up this screen, and if I type ls, here you can see I am in my Kali directory, means I am the user and it's my directory. So in this directory you can see one folder is Acquatone is created. So if I go into Acquatone, AQ, and I will type ls to list all the files. I think it is stored in root file. So I have to go to the root folder and then I have to go to the file. So now I will type ls. Now I will go to cd/root/Acquatone, and I will type sudo permission because it is a root folder. Okay, it is saying our command not found. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go to the root folder. This is the root folder. So I'm going to go to cd root. Permission denied, obviously, because we have to get okay. One thing I have to do for this problem, I will switch user to, I have to type sudo su switch user to root. Now I am a root user. Here you can see root@Kali. Now I will go to this folder which is Acquatone. So now I will jump into Acquatone and I will type ls. Now here you can see we have the google.com. So you have to go to the root of your system to get to Acquatone folder. Now if I will cd google.com, I will go to this directory and there are two files. First one is json and second one is a txt file. If I will if I cat txt file, host.txt, then you can see all the results are here. All the results which our Acquatone collected, all the subdomains are listed here on this folder and this file. So I will just clear up my screen. Now what I am going to do, I am again going to go to the GitHub repository. So in GitHub, you can see many things like our next target, which next thing which is scanning. So we will scan our Acquatone folders. So here you can see there are different types of scans which are available. So we have to type Acquatone -scan -domain and then google.com. So we have to type that, and we can also specify ports. So here you can see these are very common ports for web services and will provide a reasonable coverage. So we will try these 5 ports. 80 is for HTTP, 443 is for HTTPS, and 8080 is sometimes used for our local host, and I don't know 8000 and 8443 what ports are these. So I will just going to copy this command from here and I will go to the root and I am in Acquatone folder and I will just paste my clipboard, and here I can type google.com. So I will just press enter and it will scan up all the files. So this is probing 3236 ports and it is loaded those results from our JSON file. Here you can see, and now it is trying to like gather more information with these specific port numbers. So there are 3000 port, so it will take a long time to complete this result. So we will wait till it completes and then we will move on to the next part of our Acquatone use. So we will wait till this completes. So we did our discover, then we did our scan, and now we have the scan results in these folders. On the same folder, two new files are created, openports.txt and urls.txt. So we can see those files if I press ls and I move on to this google.com folder and I will press ls. Here you can see openports.txt and urls.txt. Both of the files are here. Now I will just go to Acquatone folder again, and now I will again go to GitHub files. So we have done installation, we have done discovery, we have done scanning part of our process. Now we are moving on to gathering phase. So here you can see the final stage is gathering part, where the results of discovery and scanning stages are used to query the discovered web services in order to retrieve and save HTTP responses, header and HTML bodies. So for that, here you can see we can use this simple, or we can include these 25 threads to speed up our process. So we can speed up our process by typing this. So I'm just going to copy this Acquatone gather and I will go here and I will paste my clipboard and I will just change this example.com to my domain name, which I am going to enumerate, which is google.com. Now I am going to press enter and you will see that the information okay, and Node.js is not installed in our system. So first of all we have to install Node.js. So sudo apt get install node.js. So Node.js is installing. It will take 93 MB, so it will take some time. If you have not installed Node.js, please install it, then come to that process. So I'm just going to install it, then I will move on with the last phase of our enumeration, which is the gathering phase. After completing gathering, after doing this thread 25 and Acquatone gather, we will see our results in header, HTML, screenshots and report. So these will generated automatically under that Acquatone folder. So we will see after our Node.js is installed here. Okay, so now our node.js is installed. If I clear up my screen and I will type this, so it is saying that Node.js is already in the newest version. So my Node.js is installed now. Now I can try this command, which was Acquatone gather, domain is google.com, and I will thread 25. Thread will be 25. So this should work now finally. So like I'm starting the session. So one more error is here. Please make sure npm executable installed in your system. So I will again have to install another tool called npm package. So sudo apt get install npm, and if you have already installed npm, you can get into it. Otherwise you have to install npm by this command. So it is started installing. It is also of 20 MB, so it will take again a lot of time. So Node.js and this npm need to be installed for performing our last uh, last part of our DNS enumeration, which is known as gather. So let's see. Uh, I will see you after that this gets installed properly. So now my npm is installed, my node.js is installed. Now I am again going to clear up my screen and we are going to type Acquatone gather domain google.com thread 25 and let's see. So it is installing some nightmare.js package and I think it will take some time. So we should see that how much time it is taking. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. So after completing your process, if I go to the Acquatone directory and I will press ls and I will go to google.com and I will press ls. Here you can see our reports are generated, our screenshots are generated and open ports are generated, URLs are generated. So there are number of information that is generated now. And if you go back to the GitHub, here you can see headers, HTML, screenshots and reports. All four are generated inside our folder or you can say directory. So now we have a good overview of the tool named Acquatone. You can do DNS enumeration with this tool and you can get a lot of information. It is pretty automated. So there is no need to create any output files. It will create all the files automatically. So this is the advantage of Acquatone. So this is it for this video and I will see you in the next one. Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about Amass and we are going to see different types of command and modules which are available for Amass and how we can do different configurations and what are different settings and different flags within the Amass. So first of all, before starting the DNS enumeration with Amass, you need to go to the GitHub page of Amass and just go to the tutorial.md. So this is the link, github.com/ovosp/amass/blob/master/doc/tutorial.md. So whenever you go to this tutorial part and you will go down why OWASP Amass, all the details are available here and here you can see it comes with 5 sub commands and we are going to see in detail what these 5 commands does. So first is Amass Intel, which discovers targets for enumeration. Amass Enum is performing enumeration and network mapping. Amass Viz is visualizing enumeration results. Amass Track is tracking difference between enumerations. It is tracking differences. If you do 2 enumerations, it will track the differences between those 2 files. Then there is Amass DB, which will manipulate the Amass graph database. So these are 5 options available within Amass tool. So let's jump right back into our Kali box and I will open up the terminal. So terminal is open. I will just zoom it a little bit. And as soon as you type Amass, so if your Amass is not installed, you can just type sudo apt get install Amass. Then if you will type Amass and press enter, it will tell you detail about the tool. This is the Amass tool, and if we go here in the commands, Amass-h is for help or -help is also for help. These both flags do the same thing. Amass-version or -version will print the version number of this Amass binary. Then we have those sub commands which we saw earlier in the documentation. So let's start with the first one, which is Amass Intel and what it can do. So I will just clear up my screen. I will type Amass Intel and I will press help. So what are different kind of tools available? Here you can see there are different options available under our first type of enumeration, which is Intel. So if you want to give a domain name, you can give it by -d, and -dir will path to a directory containing the output files. So if you want to take output of your search, you will simply type -dir. Address value you can type, attempt certification name graphs. You can do number of things with this tool. So what I am going to do, I will just clear again clear, and I will type Amass Intel dash or -d, and I will specify the domain name. Suppose I specify cisco.com and I will press enter. Okay, there is some problem. I cannot specify the domain name directly. Okay, I have to do one more thing. I have to provide -whois, which will provide domains which are run through reverse whois. So I will again clear up my screen. I have to provide -who is, and I will just press enter, and it will start looking up the domain in our open source intelligence. So it will look up all the domains which are available with this tool. Okay, so it looked up. Here you can see a very large list of different types of domain which are related to cisco.com. But you can see there are number of domains and we cannot identify the domains we need. So what I am going to do, before starting Amass, I will just host cisco.com. I will type host command and I will just host cisco.com. So now I get the mail exchange address of cisco.com. So now I will copy this address. I will copy it, and now I will perform a whois scan on this mail exchange domain. So I will just paste. Now here you can see I am not performing a Intel on cisco.com because it gives us lot of information and we cannot process that information easily. But if I type this and I am going to save, so first of all, before going to type this, I will go to desktop and I will again type that command. So this is the command I am going to type. I will paste this and I will pipe this output. So this is for our, if you want to save your output, you can either use directory command dir, which we saw earlier in the help menu, or you can type this and you can specify, suppose I am specifying cisco mail.txt. So this will save all the results. It will not show up on the screen. So it will take a long time to process and to do all this research. So we have to wait for some time, and within 3 to 4 minutes it will complete the whole process and we will get our results. So now you can see the process is completed, and if I go to ls, here you can see our cisco mail.txt file is created, and if I cat this file cisco mail.txt, here you can see all the domain names which are related to cisco mail.txt or cisco mail exchange server. So I will just clear up this screen, and I want to show you the difference between a simple domain search like cisco.com and search of mail exchange server of cisco.com. So I will again save. I will just, this time I will just do cisco.com, and I will save this in cisco.txt on my desktop. So I'm again going to do this, and I will show you the differences between both the searches. So in this search I am not specific about my search, I just typed cisco.com, but in my previous search I was very specific about finding only mail servers which are related to cisco.com. So let's see what are differences between these two searches. Now my normal domain scan is completed, and I have now two files, cisco.txt and ciscomail.txt. So in ciscomail.txt we have saved the mail exchange DNS enumeration. In cisco.txt we saved only cisco.com enumerations. So I'm just going to compare between these two. So I will type word count -l is for line. So I am going to see how many lines both of these documents have. So first of all, cisco.txt, if you see, there are 915 lines, and if we go more specific, ciscomail.txt, okay, I just typed it wrong. Here you can see it contains only 150 lines. So we are searching down we are cutting down extra vague values which we don't need. So if we want to see only mail exchange records, there are only 150 records, and if we are trying to see cisco.com record, there are 950 records. So if we will try to be specific about our searches, we will get to see more clear information. So now both of these files contains our intel result of cisco.com, or you can type any other website like google.com or ovasp.org. You can type any website to do DNS enumeration with those websites. So thank you for watching. This is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Hello everyone. Before going to the active and passive information gathering, we have to understand that what are different kinds of active and passive information gathering tools, and how do we use these techniques to get more information out of our IP addresses. So before going to this, we will have our DNS reconnaissance, and we will have an IP address. Suppose 8.8.8.8, we find this live IP address from a list of DNS server when we try to enumerate the subdomains. So as soon as we get this IP, we want to test this IP, and we want to test that how much information we can gather from this single IP address. So for that we have two techniques here. First one is our passive, and second one is our active. We will start with the passive technique. In this we have less engagement overall. We have basic information. We will gather some basic general information, and we will use less aggressive techniques. So if there is a firewall, or if there is an intrusion detection or prevention system is implemented in front of this IP address, it will not able to detect that we are gathering information. So this technique is like a quiet mode to gather information. This will be a quiet mode. Now we have several tools and techniques here to gather information, in which the first is who is information is very useful. You can find different types of IP addresses. If any domain name is related to that IP address, we can find that in who is database. We can try to find which company is running this server, or which company has the access to this IP address. We can try to find some other information also. Second one is Google Dork. So Google Dork is a technique to use our Google search engine very efficiently. So there are several methods like site and in URL. So there are many different methods through which we can gather information from Google search engine more efficiently, and we can gather correct information from there. Third one is any web framework. If a company is using any like if this 8.8.8.8 is running a website or a web server, and we can download tools like Webalizer. So Webalizer is a tool. Webalizer, this is a tool which we can this is basically an extension to your Google browser, and we can like see what different types of frameworks that website is using. So if it is using jQuery, if it is using Node.js, so these are very important information to gather, because if there is some vulnerability in the version of that application, we can find some exploits for that. So this web framework is also very important in our passive information gathering phase. Then job postings. So company posts job, like if a company has posted a job for system administrator and company is asking for a Linux person to work with. So it means the company is using a Linux server or a Linux system. So job posting can be really helpful to find information and to find things that company is using currently in their systems. Job posting can be an important option. Then there is a thing called Wayback Machine, which is an archive of websites all over the internet. So suppose cnet.com is a website, cnet is a website, and it was really popular back then in 2000 and 2001 at that time. So it basically gives information about new computer, new technologies, new mobile phones which are coming out. So in CNET, if we try to find that what CNET looks like in 2000 or 2003, so we can use this Wayback Machine, and it will take us back in the time and show us some details of that website over here. So this can be also a really important thing if you want to do a passive or a quiet information gathering. Now we will move on to our active information gathering, which can trigger the IDS, IPS, or any firewall of a company. So it can trigger if the firewall is set to be note down all the information or all the logs. So it can trigger your IDS and IPS. It is a very aggressive technique. In passive, you were seeing all the publicly available information, basically all the public available information. But in active gathering, you will see some more details about that web server, that IP address, or that website, if that IP address is running a web server. In this, the main tool is Nmap. Nmap is a network mapper which can tell you about OS, which operating system that server is running, what are the open ports in there, so that we can try to exploit from those open ports. We can try to establish a session between our computer and the server. So it can fingerprint the OS, it can open up a port, it can find open ports, it can find various services running on the server or on that IP address. Suppose this is running Apache server, so Nmap is really handy to find out that. And suppose this is running Apache 1.3, which is really old version of Apache, and it's very vulnerable to many exploits. So we can detect that version too in our active phase of information gathering. Now we can take Nmap is enough for doing that, but we can take it to a whole new level with our Metasploit framework. So Metasploit framework is a exploit like database. It contains a database of exploits. So we can find out that this Apache server, what exploits we can use on this Apache server with our Metasploit tool. So Nmap and Metasploit are really handy and they are very easy to use, and they are very useful to do our active information gathering. So this is very aggressive. Passive is very means less aggressive, and passive has less engagement. Active will have more engagement with the website or IP address, so that it can trigger the IDS or IPS also. So this is for our active information gathering, our passive information gathering, and what are different kind of tool which we can use to do these things. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, in this video we are going to do some passive information gathering, and we are going to look up to some tools which you can find on your browser or somewhere else. So first tool, if you want to see any IP address, you have to find its domain name. If you have a list of live IP addresses, if some domain is linked to any of those IP addresses, you can find that domain and go to who.is. Who.is. Suppose I am doing a whois information gathering for cnet.com. So here you can see cnet.com, and the actual name is Mark Monitor Inc. So this is the actual registrar info for that website, and here you can see the domain is expiring on 2021 March, and 5 March is the date on which this domain is expiring. And you can see here all the name servers, and you can see also similar domains to cnet.com. And at last you can see the registrar data, that where this website is actually registered. So this is registered in San Francisco. Here you can see the phone number detail also, and email addresses also. So you get a lot of information here. You can see administrative contact information also. So this is a lot of information, and this is updated on this date. So who.is is very useful to find publicly available simple information about a website or about a web server. So now we will move on to our next tool, which is known as, it is not a tool, but it is generally a job search. So here I am, this is the Google data center technician job, and if I want to see what servers Google is using in their data centers, is it Windows, is it Linux? So I can simply go to a career.google.com. I can simply do a job search, and here you can see the result. They are asking for LPIC certified, or a Red Hat, Fedora, or Unix, or other similar OS. Experience with troubleshooting hardware/networking issues using Linux tools. So they are asking for a Linux certified or Linux professional. It means that Google is using Linux servers in their data centers. Google is not using any kind of Windows or Microsoft servers here. So this can be a huge information in field of information gathering, and you can find these information via job search for any other company like Cisco or any other company. You can do simply a job search, and you will find out that what are the systems they are using, and what kind of like threat the systems are vulnerable to. So this is a basic information. Now we can move on to a tool called Webalizer. So this is an extension which you can download on Firefox machine or your Chrome. You can download this Webalizer, and suppose I am here at the Cisco website, cisco.com. So this is the simple website, and if I want to see that what framework Cisco is using on their website, I can simply go to this extension Webalizer. I can simply click it. Here you can see it is using JavaScript libraries, jQuery, cookie compliance, OneTrust, programming languages, Java. You can do this for any other website also, like career.google.com is using Django, they are using Python, they are using Google Analytics, Google Font API, Google Tag Manager, and Vue.js framework of JavaScript. So this tool, Wapalizer, this extension can also give you a lot of information about any website in the world. Like if I go to this who.is, what are they using? Okay, they are using Facebook as a widget. They are using jQuery, and here you can see addition also 1.11.3. Here you can see the Bootstrap framework 3.3.6. Security is reCAPTCHA. Analytics are Google Analytics. So you can gather a lot more information. If website is more vulnerable, you can get a lot more information with this Wapalizer tool. So this extension can be also really helpful to understand, to gather more and more information which are publicly hidden. Then if I move on to the next one, which is a very cool one, you can simply search the Wayback Machine in Google, and this archive.org. If I go to this page and I'm going to explore some website that I can gather a lot more information from this Wayback Machine. So here you can see explore more than 477 billion web pages saved over time. So suppose cnet.com was very popular back then in 2000 and 2003, 2004. So suppose I want to gather some information about cnet.com. I will simply type cnet.com. I will press enter, and let's see where this Wayback Machine takes us. Yes, they found a large database like from 1997, or if I go back from 1996 to 2020. So they are having a lot information over the time. Here you can see all the black marks. If I go to 1996, what CNET looks like back then. So if I go here, you can see some screenshots, some snapshots of two snapshots on December 21, 1996. If I open up this, so it will be very cool to see what CNET looks like back then in 1996. So this is also very helpful information gathering tool, which is passively gathering information. So this is cnet.com back then in 1996. Here you can see all the things, how to beat deadlock and TV shows, CNET TV. So this is very cool. The future of email. So there is a lot more information, like crazy information. Here you can see at the last Microsoft Internet Explorer. This. Okay. Now we can move this also to like how the cnet.com changes with every year. So I can press here to see it in October 21, 1997. So we will see what it looks like in October. Here you can see nothing changed. In 2 July 2000, we can take a look at that also. We can take a look at that, like there is a lot of information over here. Here you can see the website changed. They changed their orientation. So now CNET top resources for pros, how to pick the right cell phone minute plan. So all this information back then, it was very cool. So I will press right to 11th May 2008, and let's see what is stored over there on this Wayback Machine. So here you can see it, the website in May 1st, 2008. So Sony Ericsson K850. So there is a lot more information over here with the archive.org, and you can collect many things from here, how the website is developed, how the website is made, what were website like before, what is website like after, and you can discover a lot more things over here. So this archive.org is a really wonderful tool to gather information from your passive information gathering. Now I will move on to the next one, which is Google Docs, and these are very popular to get the information. So if you type Google Docs Wiki, you can see the Wikipedia page of Google hacking. So Google hacking, also named Google dorking, a hacker technique that use Google search and other Google application to find security holes in the configuration and computer code that websites are using. So this is also can be really dangerous for some website if they have a lot more information publicly available. Here you can see some advanced operators are here, like in title, in URL, site, link, author, and date range, file type. So I will just try to do some of these Google hacking tactics over there. I will just go to google.com. Suppose I want to see all the XLS or Excel sheets from cisco.com. So what I can type, site is cisco.com, and I can simply type file type. File type will be XLS. As soon as I press enter, here you can see we can find some XLS information from cisco.com. Here you can see all the cisco.com, all these PDF, these XLS, these directories, these archives. We can find really like all the XLS sheets. If I type PDF over here, we can find all the PDF files, full book PDF, networking fundamentals, this PDF documentation. So we can find very much information from here. If you use Google Docs in a very efficient way, you can find a lot more information over here. If I try to go over, this is file type. If I try to use some other like command, so author, suppose I want to see author is Jimmy. Here you can see blogs.cisco.com, Jimmy Ray. So all this information, like it is very fast to use Google and get all this information. So he is the author at Cisco blogs. So this is all passive information. It is publicly available. It is available on Google, but you can find this via this efficient method of dorking. So this is it for this video. So you can use all these methods: who.is, job postings, Vapalizer, then Wayback Machine, then your Google dorking. So all these things make up a perfect passive information gathering tool set. So this can be your toolkit. It will be very helpful to you to find all these information. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you that how you can find live IP addresses from a list. Now, whenever you do subdomain enumeration, there will be a long list of IP addresses which you will find on your output. So those IP addresses are collected via open source intelligence. So you have not any idea to that whether these IP addresses are alive or not. So suppose you have found 1000 IP addresses under a google.com domain. Now you cannot ping one by one to those 1000 IP addresses. That will be a hassle and it will take forever. So you have to make a script to check that whether these IP addresses, those IP addresses are alive or they are dead. So for that I have made a script which I am going to show you in this video. I am going to explain each and every detail about this script. So if I go, if I type ls, this alive or not .sh, I made this script. So I'm just going to open up in a nano. Now you can see at the starting, this is like hashtag bin/bash, which is mandatory. Then it is asking for name of the file which contains IP addresses. Then it reads that file name. It it reads that file name line by line, and as it reads, as this script reads the IP addresses, it will send them to this loop, this do while loop, where this is pinging those IP addresses and seeing if we can grep 64, and we will have a word count, and if the count is equal to 0, then they are dead, else they are alive. So for that I just have to show you why I am taking this 64 here. So if I go back, control X, if I ping Google server, our Google DNS server, so here you can see if the ping is successful, you can see the 64 bytes from 8.8.8.8 ICMP TTL, this response you are getting if the ping is successful. So at the starting there is 64 because by default your PC will send 64 bytes to check whether that is alive, that the host is alive or not. So I use grep 64. You can use grep ICMP, or you can use grep TTL. So you can use these different kind of words. The choice is yours. So if I go back to the script, so here you can see if there is 64, if the word count is equal to 0, if there is no 64, then echo will be then there will be n which is displayed, else there will be line, the IP address is displayed, and all is done via a file name. So I will just go through the script, I will execute it, and then you will see how it is working. So first of all, I have to have a list of IP addresses. So I've created test.txt. So here you can see the list of some IP addresses as well as some domain names. You can test domain names also via this list. So if I try to ping these domains one by one, it will take a long time. So I'm doing it via a script. A script make your process automated. So I'm just going to pass this list through that script. Now I will just press exit, and I will just execute that alive or not.sh. Please enter the name of file which contains IP addresses. It is test.txt. As soon as I press enter, okay, operation not permitted because I have to give sudo permissions to this script. Test.txt. Now you can see 8.8.8.8 is alive. 1.1.1.1 is alive. Then the next one, it is taking a long time. So this is dead here. Now this 78.14.23.6 is alive because it is returning it. Then this one is not alive, it is dead. 8.8.4.4 is alive. Then I think it is taking a long time. Google.com is alive, Facebook.com is alive. Well and good. The script is working fine. So it will take some time because you are pinging them one by one through the script. So now you can see this is not alive, this is not alive, and this do not exist at the rate 235, name of service not known. Wikipedia.com is alive. So if I go back to my nano test.txt, here you can see some IP addresses like 10.0.0.0 was not alive. It was showing 4.4.2.2 was not alive. I don't know, sometimes the server does not respond, so we have to make this script more fast and effective. This is like doing if ping is successful, this script is doing fine. But if the ping is not successful, it is taking a long time here to produce this n. So what I am going to do, I am just going to first of all I will edit this. I will just going to take these I will like just going to take these addresses or domain, whatever you can say. Yes, then I have to open up this script. So we are going to make some changes over here. If you can see this, if the ping is not like if the server is dead, so it is taking a long time. So what we can do to make our process faster? To do that, you have to exit it. You have to go to manual page of ping, because you are using ping. In ping there is one option, I will show you. There is one option, this capital W, which is for timeout. Here you can see the option affect only the timeout in absence of any responses. Otherwise ping waits for 2 RTTs. So generally by default it waits for 2 RTTs to return us alive or not. But if I like make changes to this flag -w, so it can make the process much faster. So for doing that, I will go to my script. I will just add one thing here. Ping count is 1. Then I will just add timeout is also 1 now. So it will do much faster. It will do the work much faster. Now I will try to run it again, and I will type the IP address test.txt, the list of IP addresses. Now you can see it is doing the process much faster. It is like showing our no responses much faster, because now it is not waiting for 2 responses. It is only seeing 1 response. If it is not responding, it understands that our server is dead. So this is how we can communicate with our IP addresses or see them that they are alive or not. So I will just going to make some changes over this file. Now I will remove all the domain names, because we don't want that. We don't want to do a domain name test. We just want to do an IP address test. So this is now a list of IP addresses. I will just save it, and I will make some more changes to my script. I will not print this n if it is not like responding. I am not going to print an n. I will just print nothing here. So I will just save it, because it helps me document the process much easier. Now if I type the same command test.txt and I'm going to press enter, now it is just showing me IP addresses which are alive. So what happens here, I can save these results to a file with a pipe like pipe command. Here you can see user error, destination address required. Some error is there. I don't know why. I think I have to make some changes over here. Okay, I have to just delete the empty lines over here, and if I try to pipe it to results.txt and I'm just going to press enter. Okay, and not pipe, I will use this redirect option. Okay, so now it is working good, I think. Test.txt will require, I will press enter. Okay, so I will just go to ls, and these are results.txt. I will cat my results.txt. Here you can see the IP addresses 8.8.8.8, 1.1.1.1, and this, and 8.8.4.4. These are alive IP addresses from my initial list. So this is how this script is working. We can improve it further on later on, because we need improvements here. If I go again, sorry, if I go again to the list nano, if I go again to the script, here you can see we can make some changes over here where I do not want to see anything. If the ping doesn't work, if the count is 0, I don't want to see anything, like I don't want to see an empty line, so I can remove this. So we can make improvements later on, as the script goes, as it grows, and as we find some vulnerability, some result failure. This was a very simple script, but we can improve it later on. This is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, in this video we are going to see Amass enumeration or Amass enum operation. So I will just type Amass. We already did Amass intel, now we are going to do Amass enum, and we will see differences between these two. So I will just clear up my screen, and what I am going to do this time, I will save all my results into a directory so that I can make a graph out of it with the next command. So in this video, let's jump right into it. I'm going to just type Amass enum, and I will just type domain name, which is I'm going to look at cisco.com, and this is more detailed version of enumeration which we are going to perform. Then I will just specify a directory in my desktop. I will save it as suppose Cisco enum. Okay, Cisco enum will be my directory name, and it will be saved in my desktop because I am in my desktop right now. So this is dir is for directly. Cisco enum will be the directory name, and I'm just going to press enter, and we will going to see that what this enum operation does. So I will just press enter, and it will take a longer time. So intel was a short operation, but enum is a very long operation, so it will take a very long time. It can take up to 5 to 6 minutes. We are going to see how it happens. Now we are started to seeing the results. It is querying all the sources which are available, and it is querying all the sources for finding subdomains. So it is querying cisco.com, it is querying Baidu, it is querying brute forcing, it is querying Yahoo, Bing, Google, all the publicly available servers. And here you can see it has started to finding out results from our search, which was cisco.com. So now we are going to see a lot of results. So here you can see a lot of result is showing up. So this is the DHCP server for cisco.com, which you will not see anyways. If you will simply Google search this number without any tool like Amass, you are not going to see this much information. So this tool gives you a lot of information. So here you can see it is 68.30% average retry is required. So it will show up after some time during the results. So we are going to wait for some time, then I will stop it by intentionally because it is going to take a long time. So now I can see that I have collected a lot of subdomain names. So I will just going to press Ctrl C or Ctrl Z to stop it. So it will hopefully it will save all the results which I have collected in my directory. So I will just clear the screen, and I am in the desktop of my Linux box, and I will just going to type ls. So here you can see Cisco enum is created already, and if I try to go inside Cisco enum and I will show type ls, here you can see amass.json, amass.log, amass.txt and indexes.bolt. These four files are created automatically. So if I will save my results into a directory, it will help me after in my Amass visualization operation. So this is it for enum operation. Now if I press Amass again, here you can see there is a visualization enumeration results option available with Amass VIZ or VIZ. Amass Viz, we are going to make up a graph, and then we are going to see that how that graph works actually. So this is pretty cool operation which you can do with your Amass tool. So I will just type Amass, MASS, then I am going to type VIZ, then I am going to press -H for help. So here you can see there are different number of options. There is no color options to disable colorized output in your graph, and there is, we are going to use this operation -D3, which will generate a HTML file of your results which you have created. You can specify your directory by -dir command. So I'm just going to clear it. I have enough information from this tool. You can you can try different number of options which you can see here. So I will just clear up my screen and I am going to try Amass VIZ or Viz. Then I am going to type D3, which will generate an HTML file. I will type dir and I will specify my directory, which is I think Cisco enum or something like that. I forgot my directory name, so I will just type ls command. Okay, it is Cisco enum. The directory name is Cisco enum. Amass VIZ Viz. D3 is for HTML file generation, and dir is for directory, and directory name is Cisco enum. So this is my directory, and I will just press enter. It will take some time to generate your HTML graph. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. Now that Viz process is completed, and we are going to go to cd Cisco enum, which was our directory, and if I type ls, here you can see an HTML file is generated here. So the graph is generated. Now that process will take long time if you have multiple number of your subdomains in your file. If you have less number of subdomains, so it will take very less time to generate this graph. So now I will go to my desktop. I will minimize it. I will go to my desktop, and here you can see the HTML file is generated. I will open it, and it will also take some time to open because it is a very long file and it will collect all the data. Here you can see our graph is generated. So if I click here, you can see the AS number, the designation number, Cisco systems, and in green you can see the mail exchange server of Cisco. In this you can see the address. So different types of, if I zoom it so that you can see different types of records are generated. So I can move these records here and there, and I can play with them. So this is a very cool way to see the DNS enumeration data, and visualization tool does this. So Amass is a really important tool in our database. Now if I go back to the terminal, and I can show you another tool, which is, if I go back to my desktop and I will press Amass, here you can see there is one more tool which is Amass DB, Amass database. So this command will show you the database which Amass has. So for that I have to type Amass, then DB for database, then I will press summary, then I will specify my directory which is Cisco enum, and I will press enter. So it could take a moment while acquiring AS network information. Here you can see. So it will take a moment, and we have the summary of our database. So it has one subdomain which is mail server of Cisco system, and it has the IP address both IPv4 and IPv6. As you can see, the ASN number is here, and there is multiple information in this database. So you can see your database by typing this command. And one more command is there which is Amass track. You can use this command when you have 2 or more enumeration results and you want to compare them. Then you will have to type Amass track command. So we have covered Amass Intel, Amass Enum, Amass Viz, Amass DB and Amass track. All the 5 commands which which I showed you in the documentation, we have covered all those commands, and this makes up Amass a really powerful tool for DNS enumeration. So this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, in this video we are going to make a bash script to find unique subdomains from a list of like 100 or 10,000 subdomains. We are going to find unique subdomains using a script. So for that I have created a script already, and I am going to explain that script to you. So this unique subdomain.sh, I have made this script. I will just press nano or vi. I will use y because it is cool to use y. Unique subdomains.sh. Here you can see my script is here. Hashtag bin/bash, which is mandatory when you are using anything like that. Second line is echo like -n, which is used for like texting your output, showing your output to the screen in various ways. So enter the file which contains subdomains. So I am asking the user to enter the file name which contains subdomains. If I go back here, if I exit from this Cisco subdomain.txt and Google subdomain.txt, I have collected these subdomains. If I open up the Cisco subdomains.txt, here you can see I have collected a list of subdomain, and there are like different kind of Cisco subdomains are here. So I have collected this from using a tool called Amass. You can collect from using Sublister or using tools like Knock. You can collect this information and save it to a file. Now this information is not useful when this is like a long, if I word count that file, here you can see 915 lines of different kind of subdomains. So this is not useful. We have to filter out some like duplicate subdomains are here. There will be many duplicate subdomain because we used whois. So like there can be a cisco.co.at somewhere else also. So we are going to only select the unique subdomains. So there are number of subdomains. We are going to select only unique subdomains. So I will go back to my script. I will clear up the screen. Go back to my script. So I am asking user to enter the file which contains subdomains. I am asking user to enter a file name. And this read command in your bash, it will read that information from the user. User will enter, it will read and save it to a variable called file name. Okay. Now second variable is addition. this is a variable which I have made. Why I made, I will talk you later. But if I see this, I will find unique subdomains from that file name, and I will save that to a unique another file name, which is addition file name. It will add unique in front of my file name. So I will just execute it, then you will get it better. So first of all, I will go here, I will quit this. First I will execute it. For executing a .sh, you just need to unique subdomain.sh. I will press enter the file which contains subdomains. It is asking me to enter a file name. My file name was Cisco subdomains.txt. This was my file name. I will press enter and it happened. But what did it do? Here you can see it made a new file here, unique Cisco subdomain txt. It is added unique in front of my file name, and it is created a new file with the output which I want with unique subdomain list. So I will if I cat now the unique subdomain. Here you can see now there are only unique subdomains which exist here. If I word count unique, okay, so 915 were already unique subdomains. So this is like printed all the unique subdomains. There were no duplicate subdomains. So this shows me that. ls, I have also created Google subdomain.txt. So I will make sure that works also. I will show you that how to work on that Google subdomain.txt. Now I will go back to my script, which was this one. Okay. Now this is not enough for me. I want to improve my script. I want to see if I go back, you can see when I open up the unique subdomains, here are some domains which are not related to Cisco at all, like this onbusinessnetwork.com. This is not related to Cisco. Headnetworks.com. This is not related to Cisco. But the subdomains which are related to Cisco will contain like Cisco here. So I will have to grab only Cisco from this list. So what I can improve on my, if I open up my script, what I can improve here, I will press insert. What I can do here is I can just grab Cisco, CISCO from here, and I can print only those folders or files, or I can save only those folders or files. So I will just go here. I will grab Cisco from whatever the file name is. If it is a Google, if it is Cisco, I will grab Cisco character from this file, and now I will store those into unique subdomains. So now I am grabbing the Cisco from file name, and now I am saving those into my file. So I will just quit it, and I will going to apply this script. I will press the file name, which is Cisco subdomain.txt, and if I clear up my screen, now it must, if I go here, now it is updated. Now you can see there is no subdomain which do not contain Cisco. Every subdomain is like related to Cisco now. So if I word count now, unique, there are only 450 subdomains now. There were 915 subdomains earlier, but now it is less than half. So this can be very useful when you are doing a DNS enumeration and you are getting a lot of subdomains which are not useful for you. So I've got like 915 subdomains, but they were not useful. So I've created that script, and sorry, I've created this script. If I open up this script, I've created this script to filter out like vague results. So this is the usefulness of making a.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you what a bash script is, what is bash scripting. But before going to the details and before going to do any analysis, we have to make sure that we know several basic Linux commands. So these commands are very important when you are making your script in bash. So bash is a language, you can say, which Linux use to create some kind of script to perform a work automatically. So it is like code for your day-to-day Linux task. So before starting, the first command in the list is our pwd, which is known as present working directory. And as soon as I press pwd, here you can see the Linux box returned the result to me. So it returned /home/kali. So my present working directory is actually /home/kali. I am here. So sometimes when you work on Linux, you can get lost in many directories and many folders are there. So you can get lost easily. So this command is very handy to find out that in which is your present working directory. If I change my directory, which is known as cd, change directory, and to go to /home, I will just type dot dot. So it will like move back a directory. So from Kali, I will move to home. Here you can see I have moved to home, and now if I type present working directory, it shows /home only. So this is the work of pwd. Now I will change directory back to the Kali. Here you can see. So pwd does this work. I will clear up my screen. The next command on the list is very handy to list all the files which are presented in your directory. So it is called ls, or known as list. So if I press ls and press enter, here you can see there are different kind of like files and directory stored in my /home/kali folder. Here there is downloads, there is desktop, there is pictures, there is videos, there is public, there is all kind of these softwares. So ls shows us all the files and folders or directories which are under the directory which you are working on. Now this does not show you a detailed version of ls. So to show all the files, including the hidden files, you have to press ls-a. As soon as you press this, here you can see there are number of directories and files which are hidden generally from the general users. But as soon as you type this command, here you can see these all these .config, .gem, .wget, hsts, all these files are basically hidden files inside your this present working directory. So here you can see all the hidden files and your normal files like desktop, documents, downloads, all these stuff. Now I will clear up my screen. One more command I can try with ls, which is lsl, which shows me some more details on my list command. So it is listing all the file and directories. Here you can see it is listing all those. First, here you can see it is showing some more details about all those files, like this Google subdomain.txt. It is a text file which has, first one is blank here. If first one is written as D, it means that this is a directory, or you can tell by its color, like its color is blue. The file's color is there is no color to the files. So first character of your ls-l will show whether it is a directory or it is a file. So this is a directory and this is a file. Okay, then next three characters will show you rwx or something like this, which stands for read, write and execute. So the Kali user has the permission to read, write and execute. The group in which the Kali user is like working on, that group has permission for read and execute. There is no permission for write. So r-x. Then there is, for other users, there is permission for read and execute only. There is no permission for write. So first is for identifying whether it is a file or directory. Next three will identify the permissions. So first part, rwx will identify the permission for user. Next will identify the permission for your groups, and then last three will identify the permission for other users other than these users and these groups. So this is how permission works in Linux, and you can see all the permissions via this simple command. Now I will clear up my screen again and we will move on to the next command. So suppose I have to make a file in Linux, a blank file in Linux. So currently we have these files and folders here. We will use touch command, touch, touch, and suppose I am making abc.txt and I will press enter and it did not show anything. But if I press ls again, here you can see abc.txt is created. So touch command is used to create your file. Okay, simple. Next one is your cat command. So right now in abc.txt it is a blank file. Cat basically reads all the contents of a text file or any type of file. So cat will read all the text which is inside abc.txt. So cat is the command for that. Next one is your make directory and remove directory, these things. So if I have to make a new directory here, suppose I want to make a new directory, I will press mkdir, which is make directory space directory name. Suppose I want to give it a directory name of temporary. So this is a temp, I can say temp directory. So I am making a directory called temp. I will press enter. I will go to ls. Here you can see temp directory has been successfully made. Now if I want to move this abc.txt from here inside the temp, so what I will type, I will just press mv, which is for move, or if you want to copy, there is cp for copy. Syntax is same for both the copy and both the move. So move abc.txt to temp and I will press enter. Okay, permission denied. I will have to press sudo. I will have to press password. Here you can see it is moved now. And if I type ls now, there is no abc.txt here. So if I go to temp and I will press ls, here you can see abc.txt has been moved from the Kali folder to the temp folder. So this is the case for your move and copy. Now if I want to remove this temp directory, I will go back. Here you can see temp directory exists. If I want to remove this, I will press rmdir, remove directory temp. Here you can see failed to remove temp because directory not empty. The rmdir will remove only empty directories. To remove the full directory inside all the folders, including all the folders of the directory, you have to press rm, which is for remove, hyphen r, which is for recursive remove, and now you have to press temp, and now you will press ls, and there is no temp and there is no abc.txt now. So this is for removing a directory. Now I will clear up my screen, and we will like see some a little bit stuff about two editors which are mainly used in Linux. First one is vi editor, second one is your nano editor. So for creating a file or writing to a file, you can use these editors. So vi editor, I will press abc.txt and it will make that file also. Here you can see file has been opened, abc.txt, new file. At the bottom you can see all the information. If I press I, it means I am in insert mode now. So I can type anything. Hi, I will type anything. Hi, I am Kali Linux. Okay. Now if I have to save this through our vi editor, I will just press colon, no, escape colon write and quit wq, and I will press enter, and here you can see vi abc.txt has been saved. If I cat this abc.txt, here you can see the output, the contents of the file. Okay, now for using nano, you have to just press nano abc.txt. This is more user friendly kind of editor. It is a GNU nano editor. In the bottom you can see all the all the options. If I press enter, here I don't need to type any I for insert or delete. I can just type as it is. So edited via nano. Okay, now if I have to save this, I will press Ctrl X to exit, and I will press yes to save it, file name to write abc.txt, and I will press enter. So now if I cat abc.txt, here you can see hi, I am Kali Linux, edited via nano. So this is how you can use vi and nano editors to edit your text files, to create a text file or see the contents, to modify those contents. So now this is it for this video. We saw the basic commands of Linux, and in the next we saw the pwd, ls, we saw cp, mv, all these commands. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Now I will make a simple bash script to print out the result. So we use our normal commands, but if we want to do our work efficiently and we want to do a lot with a simple typing, we can use our bash script. So to make a bash script, you need to know that it ends with extension. So it ends with .sh. So suppose I am going to make a bash script called nano. I will use nano. I will make a script for listing the file. So listing.sh, and as soon as I press enter, nano listing.sh opened in nano. Now in this basic script, we are going to simply, at first, in each and every script, you need to add this command, which is /bin/bash, so that this Linux box know whenever this script is executed, this Linux should know that it is executing a bash file. If you want to execute a Python, you can add your Python language here. So I'm using bash, so I will just make bash. This is mandatory for your scripts in Linux. Okay, so I will just going to press
ls l a, and I'm going to redirect this output to a script, first script dot txt. Okay, ls dash la, which is listing a file, and it is redirecting the output to first script dot txt. Now I will save this file, and if I cat listing.sh, you can see nothing happens. It just printed the cat. Now to execute this script, you have to first go to ls. Where is my script? My script is here, listing.sh, but it is showing it as a simple file, normal file like abc.txt or shortest.txt. To make it executable, I have to provide it the permissions. So if I go to ls la and listing.sh, here you can see it has only read and write permission. It do not have any execute permission here. So I have to provide it execute permission. So for that I will press sudo, because super user only can do that. Only super user can provide a permission or edit your permissions. So sudo chmod, which is modifying the permission, chmod space your 777. This will give full permissions to the file to execute via user, to via group, and via other users. Read, write, execute, full permission. And then I will type the file's name, which was listing.sh. I will press enter. I will press the password, and if I go now lsl, here you can see it is showing me as a green folder, like green file. And here you can see the permission: read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. So 7, 7 and 7. Now I can execute this file. To execute that, I have to press dot slash and then file's name, listing.sh. And as soon as I press enter, a file is created here, first script.txt. A file is automatically created here, and if I go to that file, all the ls.la is executed and the results are saved to that file. So a script can do your number of tasks. If I go back to my script, which is nano listing.sh, what I did was ls.la, I pressed the command and I saved output of ls.la to a file called first script.txt. And as soon as I execute this whole file, I can add ton of commands here. Like I can add, it is not useful for executing a single command. It is useful for executing a whole number of different commands. I can echo some Linux. If I want to echo Linux 10 times, what should I do? I can press like Linux here 10 times, and I have pressed 2 times, and I will save it. And if I execute this, here you can see Linux and Linux is printed automatically, and the first line is also executed. Like if you go to the first line, this is also executed, this is also executed. So it executed 3 commands simultaneously. So this is what a bash script is useful for, and this is how to make a bash script. You just have to add hashtag exclamation mark /bin/bash, which is the location for your bash, and then you can type any commands you want and it will execute it. You can also make loops here. You can do full-fledged programming. You can make any number of software tools using bash. So you can do anything with a script. So for this video, this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, In this video, we are going to see some more advanced command that we will use in our bash scripting later on. So we will start with a command called wc, which is word count. So if I press ls and I want to find how many words are there in the abc.txt, so I can simply press wc l, which is length, abc.txt. Here you can see there are two lines. Hyphen L stands for length or lines, number of lines which are there in abc.txt. If I don't press L and I will simply press enter, here you can see there are two lines, there are 8 columns, there are 36 characters. So wc is for your word count, and we will use this in our bash scripting. Clear up my screen. Then we will move on to another command called sort, S-O-R-T, for sorting all the data in your file. So first of all, for that I will create a new file, vi or nano. I will use nano. Nano is much easier to use. So I will use nano and I will create one file called sorttest.txt. Okay, and I will type some random values here, like any random values, any random numbers in here in this file. Okay, I will type some numbers also, and to save this I will press Ctrl X, yes, and I will save it. So if I show you the contents of the file using cat, here you can see all the contents, but these contents are not sorted. So you can have a problem while looking at these contents. So there is a command called sort, and then your file name, which is sorttest.txt, and I will press enter. Here you can see all the lines sorted. Here you can see it starts with 2, then 3, then 3, then 4, 3, then ASDG, then CVB, then D, E, F, G, and it goes to the X. So now it is sorted. Okay, but it is sorted only using the first character of each and every line. So like 245 is still greater than 43. Okay, but it is sorted only using the first character. So it is like 245, then 3, then 4, 3. So if I want to sort via the value of the numbers, like I want to see 43 at the top, I will press sort hyphen V, capital V, which is for version sort, and like I will select the file name and I will press enter. Now you can see it is sorted like 43, then 245, then here you can see 34,623, then 34,634. So it is sorted now via the size of every number or every letter. For letters it is the same every time. Okay, so this is a very simple command. It is very useful to sort your data if it is placed if it is not placed in a correct position. So you can sort your data via sort command. I will just clear up my screen. We will move on to the next command, which is called grep, grep. This command is a huge set of commands, and you can learn this command via man page of grep, and you can see there are ton of options to select and to see the output of a file. Now I will press quit. I will quit from this. We are not going to use each and every detail of grep, but grep is used to find a pattern in your abc.txt or any file. Okay, so if I have a file called sorts.txt, here you can see ASDG is a pattern, CX is a pattern, D is a pattern. Okay, so if I want to find the characters which contains D, so what I will do, I will just press grep space, what is my pattern, D. Then I want to find D and file name is sorters.txt. Here you can see the 4 lines which contains D, which is ASDG, WD, HDB and a single D. Okay, so grep commands help you to find patterns in a file. So this is very easy to use, but it is a huge set of commands, so you need to learn all those. For now, you just need to learn that it finds pattern in a file. For next command, I will create a new file. So I will just create a file called nano. Command name is unique, so unique file.txt. And I will just type some letters, some repeated letters here. Open, open, close, and run, close again, and then in, out, okay, exit, entry, okay, ntry, enter, in again, then sorted, not sorted, not happy, happy. Okay, all these like random words I will type, and I will save this to this uniq file.txt, this file. Okay, now I am going to show you a command which is select unique text from the file. Command name is uniq, unique. Then I will just press the file name, which is which was the file name, I forgot, unique file.txt. Okay, uniq file.txt, and I will just press enter, and here you can see it find unique characters from the file like open, close. Here you can see if I type normally cat unique file.txt, here you can see open comes 2 times, close comes 2 times, uh, in comes 2 times, but open is like one open after another open it comes. So what unique will do, unique will choose between these 2 characters and print only one character. So it is not printing concurrent character if the characters are same. So unique is doing that. And if I press unique hyphen u, and I will press the file name unique file.txt, here you can see it is only like searching and pasting those commands and or those entries which came twice or more, like this close came twice. Okay, so this is it for your unique. We will use this command in further on to find our unique subdomains. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so this is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. We have already seen our basic commands, and in this video we are going to see some redirection commands or redirection methods which are available in the Linux. So first of all, here you can see the 4 redirection commands which are really important for our bash scripting. The first one is like a bracket, small bracket, open bracket, then 2 brackets are there, then 1 bracket left, and then there is a pipe symbol. So this is known as a pipe symbol. So first one redirects your standard output to a command. So if you are typing a single command and you want to redirect or override that command's output to a file, you can use this. If you want to append output of first command to second, then you can redirect this. Then this is to standard input to a command. Then pipe will redirect your standard output of a command to another command. So let's move on to our Linux box.
I will clear up my screen and we will take some examples of these pipe commands. So first one is I am going to use a pipe command. So if I type ls, here you can see some files are already here. If I will open up the cat abc.txt, hi, I am Kali Linux, edited via nano. Now cat, if you type cat simply, it is showing you all the contents of abc.txt. But if I want to see the contents which this line only, I want to see the contents related to nano. So what I will do, I will type a cat abc.txt and I will use this pipe symbol and I will pipe output of this cat.abc to grep. So I will grep nano from there and I will press enter. Here you can see it grabbed the second line edited by a nano and it printed the second line. So this pipe command is very useful to send your output to another command. The next one I can see, before going to that, one command is there called echo. If I want to print anything, I will say echo. If I will type echo hello, hello will be printed. If I will type echo hi, hi will be printed. If I will type echo Linux, Linux will be printed. Anything which you type after echo, it will be printed directly onto the screen. So what I am going to do, I am going to echo thanks message and I am going to not pipe but redirect this to our abc.txt and I will press enter. And if I go now to abc.txt, if I cat that, the contents are changed now. So there was content like hi, I am Kali Linux, edited via nano. Now there is content, only a thanks line is there. So it did that it took the output of this command, which is thanks, and it edited the abc.txt and put that output onto this file. Like if I want to save this ls.l and I can save results of this to abc.txt. And now if I open up abc.txt, here you can see the results are saved into abc.txt. Okay, so I can redirect my output to that. If I want to append to abc.txt, I don't want to overwrite the file, but I want to append it to that file. I want to add something to that file. So for that, echo, if I want to add my Kali Linux is here, I want to add this line to abc.txt. So this double redirect will append that, not overwrite it. Okay, so I will press enter. Now if I type cat abc.txt, it appended that line onto here. It do not edited a whole file, it only appended the line Kali Linux is here to abc.txt. So it is very simple to use. These redirection we will use in our bash script to make them more efficient and use them in a better way. So thank you for watching this video and I will see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to do some techniques. We are going to try out a few tools about our active information gathering. So we did it passively with tools like Whois or our different kinds of web based tools, browser based tools, or we gather some information from different resources like job listing and all. But in the active information gathering, we will go after an IP address, we will go after that IP address and we will try to find out that how that IP address is working and what are the servers behind those IP addresses, what are different types of operating systems, and if there are any web servers which is open on that IP address, or there are some particular port which are open on that IP address. So we can gather all this information via a tool called Nmap. So basically it is known as our network mapper. It maps a network and tries to find out what are the different types of services, operating systems, ports, and what are different types of things which are running on a server, simple server. So for that you have to just go to your regular terminal. You have to press nmap, nmap. Then you can press for help also. If you press for help, there are like ton of options in the nmap tool. So there are number of options here. If we press nmap help or nmap space -h. First one is your target specification. So how do you specify your target? You can pass any host name, any IP address which you have find out in your live IP address list after doing some scripting, after doing some subdomain reconnaissance. You will find out some IP addresses. So you can use those IP addresses too. You can even try to find out vulnerabilities or information about whole networks. And here you can see an example of that. Microsoft.com/24. This can be an example for nmap scans. And there are several flags also to describe that how should the scan work. So this is for your host discovery section, in which majorly we use SL list scan, SN ping scan. It will disable your port scan. Okay, it will just ping this that host and try to find out the information about that. Then by default, if any host does not respond, the nmap thinks that it is offline, but we can specify by this capital P small n, treat all host as online. So it will skip host discovery. It will not ping the host. It will just go there and try to scan that IP address. Okay. Then there is next section which is called scan techniques, in which we can specify our techniques. We can do TCP SYN scan, TCP acknowledgement, Windows, and Mammon scans. So this SS small s capital S flag is known as stealth scan. So it can use this is the major scan which we will do. If you try to do any UDP scan, it will take a long time because UDP does not send any acknowledgement back. Whether TCP sends a three-way handshake happens in TCP, there is a SYN request, then SYN ACK request, then acknowledgement. So TCP is much more easier to do than of UDP scan. And there is you can specify like port number 53111. You can specify scan specified ports also. There is an option for that. Now this SV will detect open port and try to determine what services that IP address is running. Okay, so this is really handy. There is one more option which enables OS detection. So it will try to discover that, it will try to match the fingerprint of the OS for its database, with its database, and it will try to like detect what operating system the host is running. Then there is timing and performance. You can set your timing template from 0 to 5. So 0 is less aggressive and 5 is like full on. So here you can see higher is faster. Then we can move on to next section, which is output. You can put the output into a XML file. You can put an output to a simple file name. You can use any file name for do that. If you want to enable IPv6 scanning, you can enable by doing this. And this is all the major code or flags we will use for our nmap scan. So I will just try to do an nmap scan on a sample IP address. You can try to trick and twist your own ways and do any scan which is possible. So I'm going to do an nmap stealth scan. SS is for that, and I will try to specify an IP address, or I can specify a host name also, like domain name also. I can try cisco.com also. So as soon as I press this, here you can see starting nmap 7.70. This is the version of nmap, and this is the time and date it is showing. If you press any arrow keys, it will show that like 43% done and 13 seconds remaining. So we will have to wait for some time. You can press arrow anytime, upper arrow, lower arrow, or side arrows, to see that it is done or not. So if I press like 45% done, so time is increasing. It can send you sometime wrong times. So you have to take care of that. And you have to wait for a minute, wait for a couple of minutes, because it will take some time, take a good amount of time. So here you can see the nmap scan report for cisco.com. The IP address it is showing 72.163.4.185, and this is the scan report. Here you can see other IP address which is not scanned. It is showing a IPv6 address also, and RDNS record also, and you can see two ports which are opened. First one is 80, which is for HTTP, and second one is 443, which is for HTTPS, HTTP secure. So these two ports numbers are opened. This is a valuable information, because if we try to exploit this cisco.com, if we try to somehow exploit this in the future, we have to gather this information in our active information gathering phase. We can open up a session only for this 80 and 443 port, because they are open in this web server. So I'm assuming that this is a web server, obviously, because cisco.com is a website. So these 80 and 443 were expected results, and it also showing that scanned in 55.45 seconds also, and this is a pretty valuable information. Now it is showing a little bit information, but it is not much, like it is just showing the open ports. Now I will try to find out what OS, what operating system or what types of servers this cisco.com is running. So I will type nmap O, capital O is for OS detection, and I will again try cisco.com, or I can simply press any IP address also there. And if I press this, 14% done, it will take some more time, I think. So we will wait till it completes. Okay, so port is scanned also. Here you can see a warning: OS scan results may be unreliable because we could not find at least one open and one closed port. So this is this can be an unreliable thing also, but we can find some information here that it is using some a Linux kernel. So we can assume that cisco.com is using a Linux server there. Linux 2.4, the version is also detected. Sony Ericsson embedded. So this can be unreliable sometimes, because two fingerprint of two different OS can be same. So it can be confusing for nmap to determine that what OS details here are. So here you can see running IPX 1.x or Linux 2.4.x. So this is the nmap scan for our OS detection. I will try to do And you can tweak and turn your own waves in Nmap. This is a huge tool with lot of like options to do different things. Now if I go back, I wanted to show you one more tool which is called Nikto, Nikto. Nikto is an open source server scanner, web server scanner, and it tests against web server for multiple items, including over 6,700 potentially dangerous files. So it will also scan, but in a very detailed way. So if I show you like what output it can give us output like these. So here you can see one output is that the anti-clickjacking X frame options header is not present. So it can be a vulnerability which we can use in our next sections also. So this can be a very valuable information if we try to use Nikto. So I will just go back to my Linux box and I will press Nikto, and if I search help options, so there are different kind of options here. I want to specify a target host, so I will press this host option. So Nikto, again Nikto space host will be our cisco.com. You can try any website, but this can be illegal, so you have to have permission to do these kind of active information gathering, because it can be dangerous sometimes. So this is starting. Here you can see the target IP address, target port number. So it already discovered some like this, the anti-clickjacking X framework option header is not present. The XSS protection header is not defined. So it started finding some of the vulnerabilities. But Nikto is a huge tool, so it will take a long time to sometimes it can take 15 to 20 minutes also. So be aware of that. You have to have patience to do our information gathering. So this phase is very important, and you can use Nikto, you can use Nmap. There are several other tools. If you go to application in Kali, here you can see information gathering option is there. These all tools, Multigo, ReconNG, Sparta, IK-Scan, all these tools are related to our information gathering. So you can gather as much as information which we can use in our to discover different kinds of exploits and use and try against these websites. But that will be on exploitation phase of our hacking. For the information gathering, this is enough. So we tried two tools here, Nmap and Nikto, and we saw the results. What are the results are there. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.